Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, but we're going to do another daily dose of dismal Disney. We're going to talk about the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers movie on Disney Plus and some backlash from fans over Peter Pan. Peter Pan, who is, spoiler, who is the villain of the movie. And some people are saying Disney took it too far, that there are some uncanny parallels between Peter Pan in the movie and Bobby Driscoll, the real-life voice actor of Peter Pan, who died a tragic death in his early 30s. And some people think that Disney's taken it too far. I saw a bit of an uproar on Twitter yesterday. I wasn't sure what was going on. And disclaimer, I haven't watched the movie yet, so I didn't know. I knew Peter Pan was supposed to be the villain, and then they were saying he's not the villain, but he definitely is, and that's not the issue that people are having, even though they're like, why are you making Peter Pan the villain? The issue is that the similarities between the vilified Peter Pan and Bobby Driscoll, and particularly the condition he was in at the time of death, are pretty mean. And again, I'll leave this up to you to decide. I haven't seen the movie for myself. I did watch a couple clips here and there, and we're gonna pull up the sad life story of Bobby Driscoll and other Disney child stars. I mean, this is a very common, heartbreaking occurrence that Disney child stars, whether it's from back in the 50s and 60s or current year with Disney Channel stars, that Disney child stars tend to meet untimely ends. Not that that's Disney's fault per se, but some people are feeling that this was done in very, very poor taste. So we're going to talk about that. There are going to be some spoilers for the movie in this video if you haven't figured it out already. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 268,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Again, Geeky is sitting this one out. She will be back later tonight, hopefully, in some other videos. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Peter Pan is the villain in the Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers movie on Disney Plus, which I think dropped yesterday. And I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people actually liked it quite a bit. These are opinions I trust, people's whose opinions I trust when it comes to animation. They said it definitely is a spiritual successor to Roger Rabbit. Obviously, the budget's not there compared to Roger Rabbit. I thought this was kind of funny. They've got ugly Sonic the Hedgehog signing autographs at a convention. I think that's actually kind of funny. But some other animation fans saying no, it's actually a pretty mean-spirited movie, especially how they deal with Peter Pan. And I was made aware of it by Squid Mama Art out on Twitter. And, she's good people. You should follow her. I've been following her for a couple of years now. And she was retweeting QG, Second Quick, who has a whole thread on the situation with Bobby Driscoll. And we're going to pull that information up. And if you remember Bobby Driscoll, he was a Disney star. He's one of the first Disney stars. Very cute kid. He was in a lot of Disney movies. If you remember back in the day, Disney would cast the same kids again and again and again. Haley Mills being one of them, and Funicello being one of them. Of course, Bobby Driscoll. And when he got too old, Disney kind of kicked him to the curb. And then he wound up dying penniless, broke at 31 years old. And he was buried in an unmarked grave. And let's look at this thread, okay? Again, this is coming from QG on Twitter. And I'm going to take their word for it. I've heard lots of people saying that it's actually kind of a mean-spirited thing. Maybe Disney went too far this time. So Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers came out today. Let's talk about the disgusting portrayal of Peter Pan as the villain, a thread. Now, normally, thread incoming, I usually nope out. But I was curious. I'm like, well, we'd heard Peter Pan was the villain. Then people tried to deny that Peter Pan was the villain. And lo and behold, Peter Pan's the villain. Bobby Driscoll, Peter Pan's original voice actor, was one of the first few actors to join Disney's crew at the age of 5. That is true. He got good work through them up through Peter Pan, then had his contract terminated 3 years early due to excessive acne making his makeup too difficult. After getting terminated, he fell into really bad substance abuse for years and until dying alone homeless at the age of 31. At the time of his death, no one recognized him, and he was buried in an unmarked pauper's grave. So the fact that Disney's reference heavy, we don't give a crap if this is a self-promo, you'll watch it anyway, film that they make a grown Peter Pan, the villain, with his motivation being he was fired from Disney due to acne, is fucking disgusting. This pic is from the credits. So we have the boy who grew up, he's got acne, and he's unemployable, and that is basically what Disney did to Bobby Driscoll. Now, granted, that is an in-joke, but, you know, coming from the company that did this to him, probably not very funny. Thread over, Disney sucks. Don't watch this film under any circumstance, ironic or unironic. It's not worth it. Quick side note, I don't want to assume bad faith on the writers. My guess is Peter Pan is supposed to symbolize Disney's problematic past, but the writing was so pitiful, it's not very effective at doing that. Again, I can't verify, haven't watched it for myself, but if they go there with the Bobby Driscoll thing, it is pretty mean. I think it's pretty mean. Man, this blew up. I guess I'll leave this at intentional or not. This detail greatly sours the movie, and if nothing else, I think it's a good opportunity to reflect back on Disney's shady past in general, which was likely the goal of the character. Yeah, I mean, that probably was the point. Like, look what happened. This poor guy got fired because of acne. So we're going to talk about some of the unfortunate deaths of Disney child stars. We'll talk about Bobby Driscoll first. Here's a sad story. This is there are several articles out there where you can check it out for yourself. But yeah, he was pretty much washed up by the time he was a teenager. Just the Cliff Notes version from Wikipedia. On March 30th, 1968, two boys playing in a deserted East Village tenement found his body lying on a cot with two empty beer bottles and religious pamphlets scattered on the ground. A post-mortem examination determined he had died from heart failure from his drug use. No identification was on the body, and photos shown around the neighborhood yielded no positive identification. His unclaimed body was buried in an unmarked pauper's grave in New York City's Potter's Field on Hart Island. In 1969, Driscoll's mother sought the help of officials at the Disney studio to contact him for a hoped-for reunion with his father, who was nearing death. This resulted in a fingerprint match at the New York City Police Department, which located his burial on Hart Island. Although his name appears on his father's gravestone at the Eternal Hills Memorial Park in Oceanside, California, his remains are still on Hart Island. In connection with the re-release of Song of the South in 1971, yes, he was in Song of the South, reporters researching the whereabouts of the film's star first reported on his death. So yeah, it wasn't until a couple of years later that people knew he was gone. And this isn't the first time that this has happened to a Disney child star. Again, you can read more about the Bobby Driscoll situation, lots of articles on it. It has happened very often. Dennis Day, his mysterious disappearance and alleged homicide. This is more recent. This was just a couple of years ago. Matthew Garber from Mary Poppins. He died of pancreatitis at 21. I mean, that's sad. And a lot of these, look, they had nothing to do with Disney per se, but there are some that were, I would lay the blame at Disney's feet for sure. Tommy Kirk, who was basically fired for being gay. I mean, that was awful. And again, this is about the same time period, same time frame, I guess. Being gay or having acne are good reasons to throw your child stars overboard. Basically, you were too old, too long in the tooth. And that was a pretty heartbreaking story. I remember hearing about that. I didn't even know he was gay. And this was last year he died. So, I mean, Disney had a tendency of chucking its child stars overboard. That could have been the joke. A lot of people think it was too on the nose, it was too far, and it's too mean. I don't know. I'm going to watch the movie maybe when I get some time. There are a couple of funny bits in it. As long as you're not expecting something to be reverential of the source material, you're probably okay. It's kind of like the Brady Bunch movie or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think that, a lot of people are going to be upset. It might have been a little too far for Disney, but, whatever. That's how they do things now, right? I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.